Hello and good Friday morning to everyone. This is Storytime Recap with Elting Memorial Library and myself, Margaret. Following a Miss Bonnie tradition, I decided to do my favorites, Margaret's favorites today for Storytime. Normally Miss Bonnie does this at the start of every month. We are very firmly in the middle of August now, but I wanted to take the opportunity to do my favorites and share with you a quick DIY recipe for some fun, as normally Miss Bonnie finishes off her favorites story time with some Play-Doh fun. So today for my favorites, we read Miss Rumphius, which was written and illustrated by Barbara Cooney, and it was read with the permission of Puffin Books. And this is the story of someone who wants to do 3 things in life. She wants to travel to far-off places and learn new things. She wants to come home and live by the sea. And she wants to do one thing to make the world more beautiful. And her take on that is very interesting. And one of the things, her take is, I'll give you a little cheat. This book has been out a while. Is that she decides to plant a certain kind of flower where she lives that everyone loves. And we talked today in story time about how you can do something like that here at home. Though I don't recommend going around spreading seeds everywhere. Not everyone would want that, but in your own yard or your own garden, you can plant things that bees and butterflies and local bugs really like. It is super beneficial to them, especially in this late time in summer. You can have things like bee balm, Joe Pye weed, purple coneflower, goldenrod, sunflowers, asters, zinnias. Some of these things you can actually see in the library garden as you walk up to the building. Another really good one to have around is a plant called milkweed, because that is what monarch butterflies both eat and lay their eggs on. And the caterpillars eat the leaves to grow up to become the butterflies. It's a full cycle. And I encourage you to look out for milkweed, plant some milkweed in your own garden. These are all important flowers to have for our bees and bugs. Our second story from today was The Paperbag Princess, which was written by Robert Munsch, with illustrations by Michael Martchenko, and it was read with the permission of Annick Press. This is the story of a princess who really thinks she's going to grow up and marry this prince, except one day a dragon comes, burns down her castle and all her fancy clothes, and steals her prince. And so she puts on a paper bag to go find him and rescue him. Twist at the end that I always loved as a kid. So that was it for our books for today. And what I wanted to share, because I can't do a Play-Doh activity with you after reading you my favorite books, but I can share with you the recipe that I have found for making homemade Play-Doh. I made this Play-Doh over a year ago. And if you play with Play-Doh and you may play with Play-Doh that you buy at the store, you'll know that it can dry up really quickly. I made this over a year ago. It is still totally malleable. You can still play with it. So I'm going to share with you, and I'll put a link to the website I found this on in the comments of this video after I'm done being live. But I wanted to very quickly share with you a breakdown of the recipe and how you make it, but you can always reference back to the website if you want to make it yourself. So for DIY Play-Doh, you are going to need 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, 1/3 cup of salt. That's right, 1/3 cup. It helps preserve your Play-Doh and keep it malleable. 1 cup of water and food coloring of your choice, and 1 tablespoon of veggie oil. So you're going to take a pot, like a pot you would put on the stove to cook a sauce in. You're going to put in your 1 cup of flour, your 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, and your 1/3 cup of salt, and you're going to mix them together. Once those are mixed together, you're going to add 1 cup of water with a few drops of food coloring of your choice. If you add it to the water, the food coloring to the water before you put the water in, makes it a lot easier to blend that color in. And you're going to put in that 1 tablespoon of veggie oil. Once you have that all together and you're starting to mix it, you're going to turn your burner on to a medium-low heat, and you're just going to stir. You're just going to stir and stir and stir and stir. When you start off, there's probably going to be a few lumps. That's okay. Just keep stirring. You're going to know it's ready. It's going to start to thicken up. It's going to start to look and feel like Play-Doh. And once it starts gathering around the spoon that you're mixing it with, that's a sign that it's starting to be done. And once it's done, you're going to set the Play-Doh out on a piece of wax paper. And this is the hardest part for me and the kids I watch. You're going to let it cool down. Once you let it cool, once it's cool to the touch and you can work with it, you know, parents or kids can do this. I always like doing this step myself because it means I get to play with the Play-Doh a little bit. Once that's done, you're just going to knead it for a minute or two to work out any lumps and get it to the right consistency. And then you're good to go. You have Play-Doh to play with for a year. And you can make, this takes maybe maximum, once you've got it down, max 5 minutes. And that's including cleaning out the pot that you use to make it. So I really love this. If you're looking for an at-home activity, this is super great. Once again, I will put the link to this recipe in the comments section. And if you have any fun with this Play-Doh, send us pictures or drop us a comment that you made it and are enjoying it. You do have to store it in like a plastic baggie when you're not playing with it, but other than that, super easy. And that's it for us this week for story time. I hope everyone who joined in enjoyed it, and I hope some people are going to play with some Play-Doh. It's a great cool down activity. And stay safe and be good. Goodbye. See you next week.